What's good, YouTube? Xavier Sturzl here today with not a quick little video. This one's probably gonna be kind of long. Got another unboxing video today for you guys. Okay, so I bought a ton of crap, obviously, and a lot of the stuff that I did buy, I bought actually last year, but a lot of it was pre-orders. So over the next 2 months, I'm gonna have a lot of unboxing videos, and I'd apologize for that, but I like buying shit. So today I got. The big order, I made another $1,000 order, and that's what this is. But two of my guns that were in that order, actually, like right when I ordered, well, for the bigger one, they went out of stock, like right then. So I was unlucky and I was unable to get it. So today I got basically everything else that was in that order, besides those two guns and a side mount for one of my AKs. So in this box is either the AMD 63 from LCT or an L85 by Army Armaments, and a bunch of other crap. I can't even remember at this point. That's a bunch of crap. Oh yeah, and from that concussion, my memory's kind of shit right now. I don't know. You know, shit happens. However, you'll notice like, this is the first video where I actually have my keys. Alright, so let's just go ahead and get right into this big bitch. This is the box, by the way. This thing is huge. Here, I'll give you guys a little view so you can actually see what I'm opening up. Alrighty. You can kind of see it. It's a huge freaking box. There's two guns in here. There's a G&G in here. I wasn't supposed to get this today. Oh my god. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh, I'm all of a sudden a lot more excited. Uh-oh. Oh shit. I was wondering why it was so heavy. Oh no. Oh no. Oh boy. Okay, so I'm gonna hold off on this. That makes me very happy. I was very upset when this is the bigger one that went out of stock supposedly. So I was very upset when that went out of stock, and it's here. So I don't know why it's listed as under a pre-order on my order on eBay, but son of a bitch, it's here. So I'll be damned. All right, so here's something else that I got. This is a little pistol grip, and basically I got this because I hate the pistol grip on my AK, which is phenomenal gun, obviously. It's just that the pistol grip, like I said in one of my other videos, it's the shittiest part on that entire gun. And I'll talk about that in the actual review of that But I'm gonna crack this. No, I'm gonna save this for last. Oh boy, I'm excited as hell for that. Alright, let's just see what's on bottom here. Ooh, this first. Alright, so because G&G is awesome, and Evike has that whole map protected crap now, they give you a free gift with your G&G orders and a couple other orders, guns companies as well. But basically with this gun, because it was $340, they give you, I think it was a $70 or $68 free item, right? So this was exactly $68, so I spent the max for the free item that I could get. And I got it is a Tolmar. Never seen that company before, Tolmar, but I'm pretty sure it's just the Wingun. Oh, yeah, it's Wingun or whatever, but I'm pretty sure it's just the WE knockoff. But the ISSC M22, I don't know. I don't know much about handguns, honestly. I don't really buy handguns, which is why I picked this up, because I figured it was free, and I'm never going to buy one, so I might as well get one, you know, if it's free. Holy shit. Okay, so I picked this up because I have a revolver, and the revolver is great and all, but that trigger pull is really, really strong because basically your travel on your trigger, I'll just show you. Where's my revolver? Never mind, I think it's all the way over behind. It's so far away. Okay, basically because the hammer, when you pull the trigger on the revolvers, you're also pulling the hammer back. Oh, what did I do? Uh-oh, I did something. Oh. I don't know how to work this thing, guys. Oh, Jesus. Okay, now the hammer stuck back, but basically when you pull the trigger, that travel is also mechanically pulling back this hammer, which has the firing pin on it, right? So your travel is really far, and your trigger pull is generally pretty strong on revolvers, unless you manually rack the hammer back yourself, then you got a hair trigger. But basically that, coupled with the fact that it only has 6 rounds, kind of annoying. I don't really use sidearms. I mean, but at Milson West, if you have 6 loaded and your mid-cap runs dry in your actual primary, you're gonna have to switch. So I know that, that's why I picked up the revolver, but 6 rounds, not enough. So I decided to pick up this. I mean, like I said, it was free, and it has more rounds. It's not a double stack, unfortunately, it's a single stack, but I believe the mag capacity was like 20, so that's still at least 3 times the amount of the revolver, wherever the hell that ran off to. But this thing is actually pretty heavy. I'm surprised. First impression of this little guy. I mean, for 68 bucks, having a CO2 blowback pistol, that's pretty cool. And the fact that the slide up here is actually, ooh, it locks back and everything. The slide is metal, the inner workings are metal. I did watch a review or two on this gun, and it had pretty solid reviews. I look forward to giving you guys my genuine, like, honest opinion when I do get to field this thing, but based on like how it feels, again, I'm not too familiar with handguns, but first impression wise, it's actually a pretty solid little piece here. It's heavy, it's top heavy, so you can tell it's, I mean, it is a polymer lower, but I believe the real ones are like that too for this model of handgun. But yeah, I mean, I just gotta figure out how to use the damn thing. So that's the slide release. That's cool. It makes a cool sound. Alright, I don't know how to fire the, release the pin. I'm not sure where the safety is on this thing. Yeah, I'm not so sure. I'm gonna have to figure this little guy out. Like I said, I'm not a huge handgun guy, not one damn bit. For me, like, my honest opinion, if I'm gonna spend $100 and some on a gun, I'm not gonna buy a gun that's this big. I'm gonna buy a gun that's yay big, you know. So like that's been my logic every time I say I'm gonna buy a handgun. I end up buying an AED or something much bigger. All right, let's get you out of the way. Sorry, buddy. Alrighty, now what's on the bottom here? Alright, so we have this. What the? This is the LCT. This is an LCT. My dick twitched a little bit there. Alright, so I've never actually seen an LCT AK before, and like again, I mentioned this in one of my previous videos, my big armor video. I brought up doing versus videos. Which is why I'm buying up all these different top-end brands. This is the only brand I've heard from other people saying that can actually compete toe-to-toe with an ENL. And that new G&G supposedly is supposed to be able to as well. So I'm just buying up everything that's great. And ENL just launched the new MK Mark 18, which is a AR platform, basically an M4. They launched that, and it's their first actual ENL-produced AR. So I'm going to pick that up too, because again, I have never experienced anything more solid than an ENL. So I'll be able to compare all these for you guys. I'm just going to crack this bitch open because it is an unboxing after all. Alright. You guys want to see first? I'm scared. I'm scared. Oh no. Oh, what happened? Something bad happened. Okay, so there's a... Oh boy. I'm going to give you guys a better view of this. Alright. Turn you a little bit. Lower that camera there. Alright, so first thing in the box, there's this little cardboard crap. Oh my god, look at that thing. Good lord. Alright, I'm gonna toss that. There's this little, it's kind of cool. It shows like all the different stuff so you can basically cry about what you're not gonna buy because you just spent your money on something. Still really cool though. It has some little Russian Ruski there. Little green men invading Ukraine. And then to the gun. The packaging, there is actually like, this isn't foam. This is like a plastic material, but you know, I guess it works as long as the gun's not damaged. Good lord. Alright, take this out of here. Wow. Good god. I don't even know what to say about this fucking... Wow. Okay. So the wood on this AMD 63 here is actually... This is all real wood. And as you can see, it is... I would assume carved out of a hardwood. It's not nearly as heavy as the E&L. I will say that much. I mean, it's thick, but you can feel on it where it's softer, meaning it's hollow. Like right here, if I pinch super hard, I can feel that that's softer, or at least flexing, which means that it is hollow on the inside there. I'm surprised at the feeling on this pistol grip, though. The fact that it's accommodating a motor in there. I didn't expect it to feel as solid as it does. That said, there is a little tiny bit of wobble in that, and hopefully I can fix that just by tightening up that screw there. The front has basically absolutely no wobble. No, there's no wobble there. It's good. Yeah, I mean, actually I'm kind of surprised with that. It looks very nice. Now, let's see if it came with a mid cap or a high cap. You guys know I'm super gripey about that stuff. Yay, guys! It came with a mid cap. Oh my god. Okay, that's nice actually. It's a decent mid cap. It's not as nice as the blued steel mid cap that came with the Spartan Delta AK though, which is unfortunate. But again, we're basing this on a gun, not a mag. So let's go ahead and throw that in there. Oh my gosh, the tolerance on that. Wow, okay. That is a very, very gorgeous rifle. Give you guys a quick run over. Look at the wood on that. Personally, I don't like the color of the stain that they used, but I will happily sand that down and restain it myself and varnish it. That is very impressive, a very impressive piece here. One more quick one over. Very impressive piece. Yeah, I mean, unfortunately it doesn't have a side mount for a rail, but that can always be negated with a full kit, which I do have one. I don't think I'll throw it on here though, because I like this classic look on this gun. Really nice piece. First impressions, basically if you're gonna buy like an AK, you're really limited to two options. If you're in like a lower price range, right? D-Boys is out now. D-Boys is cutting back their production. They're not selling a bunch of AKs anymore. And D-Boys was really good for the price. You could pick up an all wood steel D-Boys for like 130 bucks, which is amazing. But they're stepping back now. So really your only options are JG and Cyma. Cyma has good externals for the price. Great externals actually for the price. Their internals are decent, but they're not great. I actually have had better experience with the JG internals. Not on all of them. Some of their blowbacks are shit, but most of the JG internals, with the JG blues that they have now, the JG, their steel gears that they use, actually works pretty well. So personally, I would say JG internals are better. Actually by a fair margin over Cyma. But the JG externals, on the other hand, are not as nice as the Cyma, in my own opinion, based on what I've, worked with. I'll do actual videos on these, of course. But point being is that's kind of your what you're limited to if you're shopping around that $100 to $150 range for all steel AKs. LCT is a bit more expensive than that, but it's definitely, I'm feeling this gun, it feels better than a Cyma on the externals, and the internals are hands down, based on others' reviews, hands down better than JG. So it's definitely a solid step up and a nice in-between point between E&L and your high-end VFC AKs that they used to produce. And I hear Real Sword is really good as well, but basically this is a happy medium in between the two. Because E&L is not map protected, or, LCT is not map protected. So an LCT AK that costs $300 is actually, with their 25% off, only, what is that, $230-ish? So that's actually a really, really fair price point for and this is an all-wood one. All wood, real steel, well, steel, stamped steel airsoft AK. When you look at the Cyma, on the other hand, it's $190 for their AK-74 that's real wood and stamped steel. So, and this is absolutely without a doubt better than that. So $40 more for a better gun, do the math. What's more worth it to you? one that you don't have to upgrade as much. I don't know. We'll find out when I actually can put these, you know, side by side, test their rate of fire, trigger response, range, accuracy, performance overall. So once I get to that, we'll know for sure. But on first impressions, I'm telling you that this gun right here is better than both the JGs and the Simos, hands down, in my opinion. All right. So what else did I get in this box? Okay, so I got an ICS half-tooth piston because I have some SHS gears that I didn't realize required a half-tooth piston, and I kind of screwed myself, so I ended up having to buy one. I got all these basically bitches for my magazines because, I don't know, you guys know me, I always talk about my side house. Guys, I'm young. And I don't know, I'm a young buck. I'm reeling to go, so to speak. I'm sure half of you are too, so get them. I don't know, I'll do an actual review on those. They look pretty cool, basically. I don't know. I hope I don't piss off my female viewers. Believe it or not, I think there's like 3 of them. If you ladies are watching, I apologize for my vulgarness. It's just kind of my personality when I'm amongst guy friends. And no, I'm not going to change. I'm going to seal up this box real fast. I'm going to toss this behind the camera. And we have the big G&G to get to, and we have this other box right here first. So where the fuck are my... Hey, I said it. There are my keys. Alright, so I'll give you guys a better view again. There we go. Alright, let's crack this bitch open. Yeah, it says Army Armament. Alrighty. Alrighty, so here's the box for the Army Armament L85. I gotta clarify this with you guys. I am not an L85 guy, by no means. I'll leave it the way it is. I actually very much so dislike the L85. And if you listen to the accounts of the British soldiers, I mean, they're men and women that have actually used this in the service, it's a shit gun. Basically, the British had to go to the Germans. Even though HK was owned by the British at the time, it was still a German scientist, German manufacturer. They had to go to H&K and have them fix the L85, and they've since released the L85A2, which essentially they spent 92 million pounds sending all the L85s in to H&K, and they had them all swapped for the newer internals. Basically, they redid everything on the inside. It's just this same looking gun. It's completely different on the inside. But in my personal opinion, my humble opinion, the L85's reputation has been tarnished by its original performance. Similar to some things that the US has had, like the M16 when it first came out. It took a long time for the soldiers to basically appreciate the gun after the beginning, you know, the first couple of years in Vietnam. That said, it still was not nearly as bad as the L85 during Desert Storm and, you know, Operation Iraqi Freedom or whatnot. So, moving on. Sorry for all the backstory. Here's the L85, Army Armament, Airsoft Guns and Accessories. I've never heard of this company. All I know is that they have an L85. I'm pretty sure this is their only gun on e-bike. So, let's go ahead and pop this bitch open. Oof. Okay, more cardboard. So much cardboard, I swear to God I could burn down like half a village. Comes with a nice little manual here. Is it Chinglish? It is definitely Chinglish. Let's see, let's find like the worst thing real fast. It just says finish right here. Put the rifle back, it just says finish. I'm sure there's a ton more just horrible Chinglish in here. Yeah. Alright, so that's that. I don't know, I'm a tech. I like to basically, I'm the type of guy that buys a Bionicle set, basically just to throw the manual away and build it off the picture. And I've done it several times. So So it comes with this nice little foam padding. I like that. They have a little hole board out there to protect the charging handle, and since this is a blowback, having a broken charging handle on a blowback would be fucking ridiculous. But here's the gun in the box. Let's go ahead and try to see what else is in here. Alright, it's all zip tied in for some reason. I don't like it when companies do that, really, but I do like that it's in the rifle bag like that. I like that. Ooh. You know what, for a high cap, that's actually kind of cool. I hate high caps, but the color on that is very interesting. It's like an OD green. I'm not sure if that's a British military pattern. I know most of the older L85s have that color tone. I'm not sure what their exact designation is for that color, but it is kind of interesting. And it feels oily a little bit, kind of like the Spartan Delta. Not quite to that extent, but I always like it when there's firearm oil involved. I love the smell. Let me quick find the scissors. Oops, sorry, wasser time. No! My wasser doesn't want me to go. Alright, I'm gonna crack these bitches open. This is my PVC cutter, this will work. Just take some time. Pump. Pump. God damn it, there we go. Alright. Oh no, there's more. Oh, this thing takes so long. This is why I don't like zip ties. Companies, please don't zip tie your guns. It makes them harder to take out of the box. If anyone's listening. Alright, that should do it. Right, let's get this bitch out of here. Oh my gosh. Okay. Alright, nothing else in the box, just that rifle little clean thing that I just tossed. Alright. So, here's the get out of the bag. Come on. Come on. Oh my gosh. Wow, okay. So I got some gripes already and I got some pluses already. I'm gonna close that. So I do know a good chunk about the L85, as you could probably tell by the fact that I just listed most of its immediate history. I'll set you right there. Okay, so this L85 feels very, very realistic. Just like the real one, it's extremely back heavy. But that is all stamped steel, and that is very, very nice, actually. It feels very nice. Better feeling than the LCT, actually. And that's kind of sad, because this gun is only 150 bucks with the discount. Wow, that grip is so weird on these things. How the hell do they... Oh boy, that's miserable. There we go, it's there. I like the iron sight like that. That's interesting. Okay, so just like on the real L85, you have your charging handle and you have your dust cover. And just like on the real one, dust cover locks, charge it, it'll slap down like that, kind of like an AR. It's kind of cool actually that they did that. Unfortunately, I don't think this thing uses a standard rail, so you can't just throw optics on here. You have to use their gay little optic or their gay little adapter to use it essentially. But quality, like I said, the steel is actually very, very solid and very heavy, very well weighted. It's actually very cool. I like that. But this foregrip, this whole front end, the wobble in that, the quality on this plastic is shit. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. This isn't Tolmar. This is, listen to that. That's ABS plastic. That's bad. Wow. That's bad. This wobbles. Look at that. That's annoying. Okay, so basically, immediate impressions. I like everything about this gun right now. I mean, honestly, it's more comfortable for me to hold than an AUG even. The AUG is kind of just, it feels weird. It just doesn't fit me. It's too narrow. It's too skinny up front there, where this has some meat to it, has some heft. I like that. My only gripe is that it's really back heavy. I assume with the big old LiPo brick battery up front here, or a longer barrel, maybe the L86, or whatever, that has the, you know, huge barrel, the bipod, the LMG version of it. Maybe that one would be a little bit better, but this just super, super back heavy. Look at the balance there. There is no balance. You find its balance point. If I had to guess, I'm gonna say it's right here. So that right there is the balance point, just about. Seeing it's still a little bit back heavy, still leaning left. Yep. So it's really, really far back here. I really don't like that. Beyond that, The receiver itself feels very solid, very impressed. Just this front end is shit. Honestly, I think a good plasti dip coat would probably make this feel a bit better. However, if you did that, you wouldn't be able to get to your battery compartment. So I am probably going to plasti dip it and have it just wired externally with a battery pouch in the back or something like that. This gun is also a blowback, and it has a bolt catch. I didn't realize that. Okay, so I don't know how I did that, but it just locked. I don't know what I did, but it locked. There it is. Okay. So I don't know why it locks there sometimes, but doesn't other times, but whatever. I don't know how to release that. Just cock it again. Yeah, okay. Interesting. Mag release on the left side. I don't know what in God's name possessed them to do that. Because, I mean, I guess you can... Okay. I would have hoped for something up by the thumb, but whatever. Let's throw the mag in here real fast. My bag is killing me. I did deadlift yesterday, and 2 times I'd worked out on squats. Yeah, mag doesn't want to go in. There we go. Just give her a good slap there. That works, actually. Okay. Even more back heavy now. Yeah, I don't know. It's a interesting little piece here. Super disappointed with the way this front end feels. This flash hider is even uglier. It's super soft, shitty plastic on here too. I can literally squeeze this with my hands. But the receiver itself is very impressive. This is definitely one of those guns you'd either Daytona gun kit, or something like that. But I do like the mag release, like I said, is on the left-hand side here. That actually works quite well. The selector switch, also being on the left-hand side here, just like the real steel, is a terrible idea, and the British were really stupid to do that. No offense to my English viewers, but that was a design flaw for sure. It looks like this one is only... Oh, okay, so it is automatic. It's semi-auto is top, fully auto is on bottom. And then your actual safety should be up front here by your trigger. If I recall correctly. Yeah, I believe. Should be, if there's anything like the real one. Anywho. Yeah, blowback. I am actually kind of tempted to quick test out the blowback function on this. So if you guys don't mind, I'm going to do that. Where's my battery? There's my battery. Battery's right here. Look, it's on hand. It's on deck. I promise this won't take too long. Let's see. Alright, so let's go ahead and just... Okay, so it's on safety. I just gotta quick find the safety. Yeah, I don't know where the safety is. That's not okay. Is that it? No, that's a pin. That's the trigger. Oh boy. Is that the safe? Sorry guys, I'm trying to figure out where this is. Jesus, this is embarrassing. See, that's why I have to read the manual sometimes on these things. Like, it's pretty sad if you don't know where the friggin' safety is. Yeah, I'm not... I'm sorry, guys. I don't know where it is. I'm sure you guys are going to eat me alive in the comments for that. I'm just going to set this thing down, and maybe I'll try to figure it out at the end of the video, and everyone can just leave, I guess. Alright, so let's go on to the G&G. This here is the G&G. This is what I was most excited for. I'm not going to say by a long shot, but by a long shot. This just came out on e-bike. The Airsoftology, I think was it Jonathan over at Airsoftology, did a pretty interesting review on this, and so did Booligan over at Booligan Airsoft Retreat. So I had to get one up because these are supposed to be a new generation of steel, that basically a new generation of receiver, AK receivers that G&G is using. And if you guys have followed my videos, you know that I absolutely adore my G&G GC16 Warthog AR. So having an AK by G&G with all the same internals as that, but in some cases better, like the trigger in this is supposed to be even better than that. So I absolutely had to pick it up without, I mean, it wasn't even a question. I had to buy this. I saw it on there, and I think 3 days later is when I ordered it. Holy shit. Okay, so unfortunately it's got that real shoddy G&G chalky feeling crap in here. I hate that foam that they use, but you know, it is what it is. Another free entry into their sweepstakes or whatever, and some menus and, you know, typical crap. Just gotta move all this chalk, and it literally feels like you're scraping your nails on a chalkboard. Gross. Oh my god, why did they have to do that? There's a... I don't know if you can see that. There's a little white foam piece in there. That's actually on top of the charging handle, which is kind of nice because this has a really interesting charging handle. I hate to have that broken. It came with a speed loader. It came with a speed loader, which you know what that means. Did G&G get it right? They did. G&G sent a mid-cap. I don't know if you can hear that. There's something rattling around in there, which is not good sign, G&G, but hopefully that's just something inherently wrong with the mag and not an actual broken mag. But the mag is actually kind of cool looking, so we'll have to see how the gun is. Boy. She looks very sexy, guys. She looks very sexy. Came with a nice old big-ass cleaning rod, but let's get this gun out. Oh my god, this chalk. I'm telling you. Oh no, it's miserable. Let's get that out. Oh my god, okay. So there's another gripe already I have about this thing. Box it for now. See if there's anything else in here I missed. Okay. So back to the gun, back to you guys. Here's my gripe. Right here, and it's blaze orange and super ginormous. Okay, so basically when G&G first sent the prototypes of this gun out to, like, you know, airsoft reviewers like Jonathan over at Airsoftology, they sent it with a metal flash hider that looked exactly like this. It was just metal and black. I mean, I was kind of hoping they would just kind of maybe dip the tip. You know, just give it the tip, give it the tip. Make just a tip orange, and we could just, you know, either A, remove that, or B, just, you know, use some paint stripper and get it off of there. But no, they literally sent a giant blaze orange plastic polymer or whatever the hell it is flash hider, and it's obnoxious and it's disgusting, and I'm sorry, I just hit my zombie killer. But moving on, the steel on this gun, I can already tell you, is completely different than old generation G&Gs. It feels marginally, I like the finish on this better. It's a matte finish and it's kind of coarse, and I like that. It feels maybe not as dense, maybe not as reinforced as the LCT, but it feels better in my opinion. It feels kind of like the old APS, like the Javelin AKs when those were out. That's kind of what it feels like. Maybe just a little bit thicker than that. But the mag release is actually up here too, so you can hit it with your middle finger, or maybe if you got really long fingers. I'm a pretty big guy, I got pretty big hands, so if I can't really do this all that well, I imagine you'd probably be using your middle finger to quick hit that out of there. But you got your mag release, it's ambidextrous, and it hits both sides, and that's pretty cool. Let's go ahead and throw this in here. Tolerances are pretty tight, there's no mag wobble. It's another nice thing. Can I pick it up? And yes, I can. I can torture it by its magazine, so that's always a plus too. I love this rail up top. That is super cool. Got some like paper shavings in here, unfortunately, but love this rail up top there. That's not something you ever really see on an AK unless it's the LCT PP19, not really. And it looks like it just has actually a specific top cover they have here. It's really weird looking. The dust cover is, in my opinion, on the sides. It just looks kind of bland. It looks like they just flattened it. It's not quite like a normal, you know, AK dust cover, but they did add the rail, which is nice. And they have this little feature too, so you can actually hit this if this wasn't fucking 10-pound pull with your index finger. Jesus. But yeah, so you can switch your firing modes just like that, and that's also another nice feature to have. The only other AK that I had like that was, again, the APS. I can hear it. That's that nice trigger. So I got that custom speed trigger. I'm throwing that in here immediately. As soon as I basically get off this video, I'm going to do that. Okay, so it's got these, it's got an ambidextrous charging handle, and it actually works. It's not super stiff, so you can go all the way back with it, put that up, and it actually locks your bolt, your charging handle, in place there. This little cutout, if you see that little cutout there, basically you're going to pull this back all the way, put that up, and it locks it back so you can get right in there, right at your hop up, which also has a nice big old dial in there. This is all stuff that I'm definitely gonna have to cover more in an actual review, but just I'm giving you my first impressions, and I'm impressed. I'm also a little bit let down. I'm let down by this flash hider. I'm let down kind of by the weight of the gun. It feels a little light to me, but then again, the other G&Gs that I have also do. I was hoping for more of a reinforced receiver on this. It's not super thick. I can tell it's not as well weighted as the other high-end guns, like the LCT and like the ENL. But that said, the rail system feels very nice. The finish on this is very nice. The tolerances are very tight. There's zero wobble in this mag. Like, that's awesome. I love that. The fact that it's got a lot of ambi features, and it's got this big old open trigger guard here. Let me get this off of there. This paper's too strong for me. This big old open trigger guard here, that's also another nice little feature to have. So, I mean, it is a nice gun. There's a little tiny bit of left, or rotating wobble, and a little tiny bit of left to right wobble in the stock here. Nothing you can't really shim out, but that's kind of inherent to G&Gs. Yeah, no, I mean, it's nice. It's a nice gun. It's not quite up to the hype, I don't think. I was super excited for this, like I said. The little, that's cool, I like that. A little tiny bit let down, but honestly, no, it's still a very nice gun. I'm sure I'll feel better once I shoot it. There's just some things I'm not liking, like, I can tighten that. If I was playing with this, looks like I can tighten the gas tube, so that's nice too. That's probably how you get to your battery. But, yeah. That's interesting. That's very interesting. Let me just kind of pop this open and see what I can do with the battery there. Whoa. Whoa! That's... I wonder what the hell kind of battery you can fit in there. Probably not much because there's a MOSFET on there. But basically, to put the battery in, you're going to drop this down. If I can get it to go back on here now. Come on. So, underneath here. There we go. So it goes underneath on the back there. See that? That lip goes underneath. Bring that down. And then this screws on. That's a very interesting way of doing it. I like that a little bit more than the older methods that they've used. Like the other gun, I know that they used to, before this released actually, you actually had to put a 3-cell lipo around the bottom here. And that was very just cumbersome and unnecessary to do it that way. This works much better, I like that. Yeah, no, it feels solid. There's not a whole lot, just besides the stock there. There's no like play in this gun, and I really like that. That feels very nice. It's just a little bit light for me. I like a heavy gun. Still though, very nice. I'm gonna quick pick up this LCT again. Yeah, in my opinion, I'd say there's a lot less play in the G&G than the LCT, and I guess because there's more wood on here, there's more room for error, but I like to beat the hell out of my guns, and I like something solid. This feels a little bit more solid in the receiver, but everywhere else I'm going to have to give it to the G&G. It'll be interesting to put those two guns head to head and see who wins. Now, at this point in the video, anyone who doesn't care, well, if you really didn't care, you probably haven't even watched to this point, but if you absolutely don't care, you can leave now, because what I'm going to try to do is figure out this damn L85. If you guys want to see me fail, just keep watching. Alright. That's cool. It's got basically a mock gas block here. It's interesting. Now I gotta figure out how to get this thing off of safety. Jesus, how the hell do they do this? Oh, you know what else I want to try real fast? I want to... Oh my god, that mag release does not want to let go. Damn, this thing is a little picky, I'm not gonna lie. I want to try a AR round drum in this. Battery move. Haha! That's fucking cool. I like that. I like this gun more all of a sudden. Alright, now let's try to get this bitch to function though. God, I'm betting all my British subscribers are just like dying watching me do this right now. Alright, I don't want to be defeated by this, but I think I might. I might just be defeated. This thing's winning. So I'm hitting the selector plate, the selector switch, and the trigger does not want to still function. Yeah, I'm not sure. Jesus. I don't want this to be such a long video, but bear with me. Yay, Chingrish! Oh boy. So that's the bolt release. Hop up. How do I fire the damn thing? I'm getting there, guys. I'm getting there. You know what? I think this gun might actually be broken because it's just telling me that the fire selector's on there on the left-hand side. So I might have to rip this apart because the fire selector's not working, which is kind of upsetting because I just fucking bought this thing. Yeah, it looks like it's actually a broken fire selector. So, yeah, that's my alarm. Looks like it's actually a broken fire selector, guys. So I'm gonna go ahead and tinker around with this, and I'll get back to you because I'm playing with this completely and nothing's happening. I thought there was an additional safety on these. The real steel, there is an additional safety up front here, but I'm not getting any feedback out of this this up here. So not anything I can do really. Yeah, so I guess I'll go ahead and conclude the video. Thanks for watching, guys. You know, like, comment, subscribe, do whatever you gotta do. I don't need to give you the whole YouTube spiel, but I do appreciate the love. So thank you guys very much, and if you actually made it this far, Godspeed to you. Alright, see you around, guys.